to Athena's Rapid Fire Takes on Ethics and Compliance Issues. Our guest today is Elizabeth Simon. Elizabeth is the Chief Compliance Officer for C2C Strategies, an ethics and compliance expert, an author, and a leader. Welcome, Elizabeth.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Today, Elizabeth is going to share her insights into what an effective root cause analysis looks like when misconduct occurs in an organization and there's a need to remediate it. So, Elizabeth, are you ready for some rapid fire responses to 3 statements?
I'm ready. Let's go.
All right. When misconduct occurs, the most important objective of any investigation is identifying the people who committed it and disciplining them.
I would say no, that is not the most important objective. While identifying the person who committed the misconduct is important, the most important question is, why did the misconduct occur in the first place?
That makes sense. An effective root cause analysis focuses on identifying why misconduct occurred and what incentivized the employees and the managers who engaged in it.
Yes, people will do what they're incentivized to do. If we can conduct the root cause analysis and find out why they engage in the activity, we can modify internal incentives.
Makes sense too. The best defense against misconduct is a proactive enterprise risk assessment, which is not a detailed checklist of measures that may or may not be effective.
Yes, a comprehensive enterprise risk assessment can assist in identifying potential risks before they become bigger issues for the company.
That's always a good idea. So let's do a deep dive and go back to those topics. So first, what does an effective root cause analysis look like, and why is it better than the Joe approach, by which I mean just one employee?
Yeah, if you focus on just one employee that conducted the misconduct, the opportunity for future misconduct is still going to be out there. Usually, if one person has thought to conduct a certain type of misconduct in your organization, others are probably doing the same thing as well. Think about Donald Cressey's famous fraud triangle. There are 3 conditions that need to be present for any fraud or misconduct to occur: opportunity, pressure, and rationalization. And companies generally impact at least 2 of those 3, the opportunity and the pressure if it's internal pressure and not personal pressure. So if we aren't conducting a root cause analysis after every substantiated misconduct, we may be missing the chance to strengthen the internal controls to eliminate the opportunity for someone else to do the same misconduct in the future.
That makes sense too. Can you give me some examples of underlying incentives and dynamics that most readily lead to misconduct?
Yeah, so Wells Fargo is a great example of this. The pressure from above to open enough accounts to make the numbers caused the misconduct in the workplace. So employees started opening multiple accounts for friends, spouses, random people. All of this was really because they were being incentivized by the numbers and not incentivized by ethics. So when the tone at the top is to do what it takes to satisfy the shareholders, owners, lenders, whatever, you can incentivize people to do that, but they're not going to be doing the right thing. On the other hand, if the culture and the tone at the top is to do business right, regardless of whether it's easy, then you get a very different outcome. So what if we incentivized people to be ethical? Then, I would ask that to our listeners too. Does your company have incentives built into performance management that encourages employees to do the right thing?
That's a really good point, and we're planning to do a podcast in January on that very topic, setting up incentives for people to do the right thing, because if it isn't measured and rewarded, then it's not powerful. Last topic. How can companies use enterprise risk management more effectively to prevent misconduct?
Yeah, enterprise risk management can uncover risks where controls are weak or non-existent. Typically, when you're looking at a finalized and robust ERM heat map, those risks you see in that upper right quadrant, the high likelihood, high impact risks, are there because the company has not put the effort into adding or enhancing the internal controls to prevent that risk. And that's where compliance teams can be extremely effective. If you have a robust ERM and can see those high risks, you can know where to focus your responses to prevent misconduct or risk in general from occurring at your business.
That's a good definition of what a vigorous and effective enterprise risk management analysis looks like. Thanks, Elizabeth. This has been a great summary of one of the key points of any remediation and one of the best measures to prevent it from happening in the future. I hope you'll come back and be on the podcast again.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.